Champions League, CAF Confederations Cup Nigerian teams, competing in those tournaments. 2 Nigerian teams lost, but then they lost away by a slim margin. So maybe we can say there is hope. The only Nigerian team that won at home, also by a slim margin. So we're not sure yet how that goes, but then interesting weekend. And of course, in Europe, Chelsea and Manchester United fans, well, the season has started. It's not about who buys the most or who spent $1 billion in the market. At the end of the day, when push comes to shove, some of those things happen. So it's a pleasure. And of course, we saw the start of the German Bundesliga. Harry Kane scoring on his debut. I mean, the first of many, no doubt, to come for Harry Kane. And of course, we also saw Osimhen score a brace, just like Erling Braut Haaland. He continued from where he stopped, last season. But then...
This is the guy some of you asked to leave the Serie A for the Saudi Arabian League.
I was never, a proponent of that. I felt like you don't for Osimhen.
The Saudi League is not a place when you're still in your prime.
Exactly. And for Osimhen, he can never be poor again in his life. So it's not, yes, we know that Oluwafemi, but still, at some point in your life, it's not like you are dying tomorrow, God forbid. So at some point in your life, you prioritize success. He may have won a title, the Serie A, but he's yet to win the Champions League. He's yet to play in the Premier League, win the Premier League. There's so much he can still do with his career, at a young age of 24. I don't think Saudi Arabia was ever the next destination for him. I expected him to stay at Napoli, consolidate himself. Some people think that first season may have been a flash in the pan. Consolidate yourself as a top-class player. Go to one of the big boys as a big money move next summer or in the January transfer window and continue your growth from there. When it's 28, 29, or 30, when it's in the Gallo age grade, he can go to Saudi Arabia.
Musa age grade.
Saudi Arabia is not going anywhere. He can go to Saudi Arabia and, make the money. But right now, I think he still has a career to push.
Okay, let's talk about this guy who in 1994 was voted as a Talent of the Year. In 96-99 was African Footballer of the Year. 97-98 BBC African Footballer of the Year. He won the Man of the Match in FA Cup Final 2008. Olympic gold medalist in 96. Won Afro-Asian Cup of Nations in 1995. Runners-up African Cup of Nations year 2000. Under 17 World Cup 93, won the FA Cup with Portsmouth in 2007-2008. Of course, it goes without saying that I'm referring to the great Papilo himself, Nwankwo Kanu. Today is not his birthday, don't worry. That was 1st of August when he turned 47. But of course, another opportunity to remember one of our heroes in the world of sports. I mean, so good, so good. He had ups and downs in his career. At a point, he almost looked like he was not going to be able to continue. But then again, through the miracle of science and his personal resilience, he came back and became one of the best to have come out of the continent of Africa. A lot of Arsenal fans from Nigeria and Africa
don't forget
today.
that hat-trick against Chelsea. I mean...
At Stamford Bridge.
At Stamford Bridge,
Is it? I'm sure he's one of those who joined Arsenal because of
Kanu.
The likes of
Emmanuel
Adebayo.
Oh, but eventually broke their hearts. I didn't need to say that.
Ran the whole field.
I didn't need to say that. Okay, so Spain are the new FIFA Women's World Cup champions after beating 3 Lionesses of England 1-0 in Sunday's final. Olga Carmona was the hero for Spain as she scored the title-winning goal in the 29th minute. With 20 minutes left, Spain had the opportunity to double their lead, but Jennifer Hermoso saw a penalty saved. So, Spain are the 5th team to win the FIFA Women's World Cup after USA 4 times, Germany twice, Norway 1, and Japan 1. Prior to this year's edition, Spain had only ever won 1 match at the tournament, and it says a lot about how far they have come. Talking about some individual award winners, we had the best young player going to Sama Paralluelo of Spain. Golden Glove award went to the goalkeeper of England, Mary Earps.
Absolutely deserved. I mean, even to the final, she was still saving a penalty. Absolutely deserved.
But quick one, do you think maybe by a stroke of luck, it could have been Nigeria versus Spain in that final.
Honestly, it could have been actually, because I looked at the route of England to the final after they got the better of Nigeria, and I tell you, there was no team in that route that Nigeria couldn't handle. I mean, after the second round, that's the round of 16, they played Colombia in the quarterfinals. I think we would have beaten Colombia in the quarterfinals, no offense to them. And then Australia, that we had defeated first in the group stage, I think we could have repeated that particular feat again in the semi-final. So absolutely, this is probably one of the tournaments where we can say that for a little bit of concentration and technical edge, because when England lost the first kick of the evening in Australia and of the morning here in Nigeria, Nigeria had the advantage. At that point, all we had to do was score all our kicks. But we
played almost even 30 minutes with one woman advantage.
Exactly. And if you look at the general outlook of the game, Nigeria played better. We had more chances, hit the crossbar twice. So that was a golden chance of course, it would be what ifs now, but then that was a golden chance for us to, if we had gone through against England, there is probably 60 to 70% probability that we would have played Spain yesterday in the final.
I observed something. Is it that coaches are no longer training players how to manage numerical advantage? Look at Nigeria against England. We couldn't capitalize. Liverpool defeated their opponents.
Bournemouth.
But even despite going one man down. Same for West Ham against Chelsea. What's going on in football?
I think numerical advantage is a two-edged sword, actually, because when you are, it's both psychological and organizational. When you are one man down, you are more conscious, you are more defensive, you are more, as I put it, you are more...
you're more fired up.
Exactly, to try and get something out of the game. And then something also happens to the other team where complacency sets in. We are one man up, we're supposed to...
Should teams get complacent? I mean, this is a fight. You have been given an opportunity, use it.
Exactly, but then most teams, they're still human beings. It somehow tells psychologically that, look, they've gotten a red card, they are the disadvantaged team. And, the teams that are one man up, they use that, how do I call it, overconfidence to push forward and are liable to counterattack. So I think it's a psychological thing as well as a tactical thing, that a team that is one man down find a way to be more compact at the back because they know they are disadvantaged. So they are more focused, they are more fired up, and they are more compact, they are more organized because they want to make up for that disadvantage that they've got in their team.
Okay, the Golden Ball, that's the best player of the tournament at the Women's World Cup, went to Aitana Bonmati of Spain.
And no doubt now she'll win the Ballon d'Or. She won the Women's Champions League with Barcelona, won the league with Barcelona, and of course now the FIFA Women's World Cup. There's no way she's not winning the Ballon d'Or.
The Ice goal scorer, Golden Boot to Inata Miyatawa of Japan. Don't forget that Spain defeated Coast Australia 2-0 on Saturday to
Sweden.
With Sweden, I beg your pardon, defeated Australia to win the bronze 2-0. Well, moving away from that, before we take on this break, Nigerian Professional Football League champions Enyimba fell to a 4-3 defeat against Al Ahly Benghazi of Libya on Sunday night. The two-time African champions were let down by poor defensive lapses in the preliminary round first leg encounter. A 7-goal thriller, but then again, it is not a good game when you are at the receiving end. They will clash again in the reverse fixture next weekend. Hopefully they get to right this particular wrong.
3 away goals scored. I mean, they have to make it count. There's still away goal rule in CAF competition. So 3 away goals are scored. All they have to do is win by 1-0. Here in Nigeria, it will be 4-4 on aggregate, but based on away goal rule, Enyimba would qualify. I think it doesn't come as more straightforward than that.
Well, let's hope it's also as straightforward for Rebel Stars. They also lost against their opponent, Medema FC of Ghana, 1-0. It was played in Cape Coast.
And now they'll have to win in Ikene by 2-0. 2 unreplied goals is what they need in Ikene to get to the next round of the tournament. I am skeptical about it. It's not impossible, but then it's not likely. I think they will concede again in Nigeria, and that'll be the problem. They will win in Nigeria, but something tells me they will also concede.
Benden Insurance FC of Benin on Saturday defeated the visiting AS Olympic Chief of Algeria 1-0 in the first leg of their first-round clash of the CAF Confederations Cup. We'll take a break. We'll be back. Stay with us.
Aha! Your favorite housemate, they come back biggie house. For this season, we don't cook better sit-down watch. We go make you shout, see go babe. Who go serve us correct bars? Who go come spice and with goals? Who go use ship take pepper them? BB Naija All-Stars, they bring you 247 drama.
Get ready to jam your faves for BB Naija All-Stars with 247 drama on GoTV channel 49. Live eviction show and highlights on Africa Magic. Dial *288# or download my GoTV app to stay connected or get a decoder for only 9,900 naira. Big Brother Naija All-Stars is proudly sponsored by Money Point, powering dreams in association with 8FM, online trading at its finest.
You're about to close the deal of a lifetime, and suddenly, your phone goes off because your battery is low. There's a hot gist in town, and just when you're about to hear it, your smartphone disappoints you. Oh, not again. Even worse, you're about to get that yes, but they can't reach you. No smartphone guarantees you your dream like the itel P40. With just one charge of its mega 6000 mAh battery, power is yours for 3 days. Also get 5GB from Airtel for just 1,000 naira when you buy itel P40 and activate it with an Airtel 4G SIM card. SMS GET to 141 to get this offer. Itel P40, one charge for 3 days.
Ibuka capsule full ground, anytime pain they around. If pain won't show in power, 3 in 1 day. To knock and power. Ibuka pain for body, pain from fever, any kind pain they bow for Ibuka. That's why I carry up always. Ibuka hammer pain away. Ibuka they buy me always. Ibuka they for you always. Ibuka they buy me always. Ibuka they for you always. Pain don't get anywhere.
Ibuka will stand gidigba with you always as you pursue your dreams to make life better, and it go better after 3 days if body no tranga. Go see Dr. Na Shalina Healthcare Limited dem market am. Ibuka, always with you.
It's travel time! Techno is giving 3 lucky people a chance to win an all-expense-paid trip to South Africa with the winner of Nigerian Idol Season 8. Buy any Techno Camon 20, Phantom X2 or Phantom V4 smartphones preloaded with Google Apps and get raffle tickets to enter the draw. Also, you get instant cool gifts like blender, power bank, MTN 5G routers, and lots of other exciting gifts upon purchase. That's not all. Other live draw prizes include a gas cooker, microwave oven, and 1 month free YouTube Premium subscription for 1,000 customers. Hurry now. Promo runs till 31st of August. Visit at Technomobile NG on social media for more info. T's and C's apply. Techno, stop at nothing.
So special to us. Start your day with the nutritious and delicious goodness of Golden Morn. Now available in 30 grams, 45 grams, 300 grams, 600 grams, and 900 grams packs. A pack size for everyone. Golden Morn, make every day golden. Golden, Golden Morn, so special to us.
Rejoice, rejoice again, I say rejoice.
The psalmist says, "For the Lord is good, and his mercies endures forever." It is with joy and thanksgiving that Molete Baptist Church, Cathedral of Thanksgiving, announces a week-long series of activities to celebrate her Diamond Jubilee, 60 years of God's unending grace, under the guidance of the Holy Spirit, through the stewardship of a servant, Reverend Dr. Edward Kehinde Alabi. The 60th anniversary celebration flags off with a choir concert on Sunday, 20th August by 9 a.m. On Monday, there will be anniversary lecture by Reverend Dr. Dixon Madokwe, Ministerial Vice President, Nigerian Baptist Convention, to be followed by a novelty match on Tuesday. There will be a special anointing service on Wednesday, while Thursday will witness award presentation to deserving heroes of our journey. On Sunday, we will be hosting the special guest minister, President, Nigerian Baptist Convention, Reverend Dr. Israel Adilani Akonji, for the grand anniversary Thanksgiving and project commissioning at Molete Baptist Church, Cathedral of Thanksgiving, Challenge, Ibadan by 9 a.m. Come, let's celebrate the awesomeness and faithfulness of God Almighty.
Na lie. Samo, na you the sweep?
Nah.
This one way you dey arrange palace so, you dey expect visitor?
Yes, so. Now I enjoy between full grand.
I beg you, not the why me jare.
They play. I said I enjoy between full grand. Now they show so. Now do that. I beg, help me arrange that side. Quick, me I go boogie.
Serious?
Introducing GoTV Super Plus package. We carry all 380 Premier League live matches on top GoTV. Enjoy Super Sport Premier League channel, Universal, Disney Channel, and more. You ask, and we do. Make you recharge and upgrade to Super Plus to flex new level of football and more for only 10,500 naira. GoTV. Love it.
Great to have you back on Sports Bank this morning. Lionel Messi doing it once again. He scored a screamer and won his first trophy in North American soccer as Inter Miami beats Nashville on penalties 10-9 after the final ended 1-0 in 90 minutes. Wherever this guy goes, trophies follow.
I mean, it wins trophies. It looks like some way, somehow, himself and Ronaldo are still competing. I mean, Ronaldo just a couple of days ago won his first trophy for Al Nassr, also the Arab Cup, and now Messi also has, won. These guys are a bundle of success. Wherever they go, success follows, and it's not surprising. He has now scored in every game that he has played for Inter Miami since he joined.
For the love that we are showing them, isn't it possible for them to come play in Africa, even if it's just one season each?
I don't see them actually doing that. They just if they just reciprocate the love by doing what they do best. I don't think they are. I don't want to say it on air, but then they are not gravitated, let's just say, towards this continent, and we don't have enough money to bring them over.
That's heartbreaking. Manchester United and Chelsea lost over the weekend. Barca secures first league win. Kane scores on debut. City down. Newcastle, Juventus, Inter, Napoli make winning starts to Serie A. In just 1 minute, your take on this before we catch up with the Premier League updates.
Well, for Manchester United and Chelsea, I think the same problems of last weekend has resurfaced again. Manchester United's midfield non-existent. Bissouma, James Maddison, and the Pep Matassa, the new guy, totally ran the midfield. Casemiro, Mount, and Bruno will not work. Maybe he wanted to give them another chance. He has done that now 2 games in a row, and the same thing has happened. That midfield cannot continue this season. And for Chelsea, the same thing happens. They dominate games, but are not able to score goals. The only goal they scored in this game was circumstantial at best, a solo goal from Chukwuemeka. They need to get a goal scorer, and I think they also need one more winger. I don't think Sterling, Noni Madueke, and Modric will be the answer to their prayers this season. They need a winger, a world-class winger. Someone like Bukayo Saka, like Riyad Mahrez, someone that can actually do the job.
Well, Mahrez is earning his money in Saudi. Absolutely. And no chance Saka is leaving Arsenal.
Absolutely
not. At least not for Chelsea.
Absolutely not.
Maybe one day Real Madrid or Barca.
I think for such a player, those are his trajectories. I think he has gone past, playing for any other club in England. He wouldn't do that to Arsenal.
The Premier League update.
BBC Premier League update from the home of Premier League football.
Hello, I'm Paul Serres at the BBC Sports Centre. There were 2 matches in the English Premier League on Sunday. 10-man West Ham beat Chelsea 3-1 at the London Stadium as Mauricio Pochettino's early season struggles continue. Naif Aguer scored the opening goal of the match before being sent off for 2 bookable offences. Carney Chukwuemeka equalised for the Blues before Mikhail Antonio restored West Ham's lead, and an injury-time penalty from Lucas Paquetá secured the points. The West Ham manager, David Moyes, was delighted with the result.
When you're playing a good teams, it's very rarely that you're going to dominate them for long periods. We certainly didn't dominate them for any period really, but we didn't do enough in the first half to probably put them under enough pressure. We tweaked a couple of things at half time. It got a little bit better, gave us a few openings, but ultimately we still had to sort of be really dogged in our defending and our organisation to try and make sure that we didn't concede.
Just 1 point then from their opening 2 matches for Chelsea under new manager Mauricio Pochettino. He felt they did enough to win the match and says there are plenty of positives to take.
Disappointed because I think we should win this type of game. Only is another football that we need to improve. Also, in many things, I think we lose. Not only in the result, losing some challenge, in to be sometimes more sharp in some situation. That is why I feel really disappointed. But it's a thing that we need to talk, and for sure we need to work really hard and to show the player also to improve.
Elsewhere on Sunday, Aston Villa bounced back from their heavy defeat to Newcastle on the opening weekend to thrash Everton 4-0 at Villa Park. Crystal Palace host Arsenal at Selhurst Park in the last of the weekend's English Premier League matches on Monday evening. And for more football news from the BBC, go to bbc.com/football.
BBC Premier League update from the home of Premier League football.
Well, it's time for us to leave, but Femaiti, if I could just get your take. Do you think the games we've seen so far, I know in Italy, just match they won, but for Spain and England, they've played 2 random matches now, except for maybe Arsenal that will play their second game tonight. Does it point to anything that we may see come the end of this season?
Absolutely. For example, for Barcelona, I think they're going to struggle. They're not getting the goals, and their striker is not scoring. That is a problem, and there's no backup. Won. Yes, they won, and that's why I say it's a pointer. But then, how did they win? And they don't have a backup, so to speak, for Lewandowski. At least an out-and-out striker. Maybe Ferran Torres can be a backup, but then definitely not a natural striker. So that is going to affect them in the long run. And for England, Manchester United's midfield is a problem. Chelsea's attack is a problem, and I think Manchester City will struggle, but they've got enough to still keep their heads up this league. You watch their game against Newcastle United, it wasn't exactly the Ferrari stroll that we are usually used to us.
But they still won.
But they still won, and that's the thing. They are going to struggle
against a team that Pep Guardiola described as a contender.
Yeah, absolutely. But then they struggled in a way that I've almost not seen in a while. So they are going to struggle, but I think Guardiola is good enough to still squeeze out the wins.
Thank you so much, Oluwafemi.
Always a pleasure.
Thanks, Isa, this morning, and thank you for listening as well. Don't forget to join us later this evening at 6:30 for the second half of Sports Bang. My name is Tunde Olawuwo. Today is a public holiday in Oyo State. Isheshe Day.
Yeah, so we say...
It's in my traditional attire.
Okay.
That's how we roll.
Happy celebrations to all the traditionalists, celebrating Isheshe Day. Many more celebrations to come.
Have a wonderful Monday. Bye-bye.
Gentlemen, fasten your seatbelts as we are about to bless your ears with electrifying news. Are you ready to discover the game changer that will elevate your day-to-day life? Hold on tight, because Oppo A78 has landed in Nigeria, and it's the talk of the town. So, do you hate sitting for long hours waiting for your phone to charge? Not to worry. Oppo A78 comes with a 67-watt Super VOOC fast charge, which allows you to charge from 0 to 100 in 44 minutes.